Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the English Daily Book Summary YouTube channel. In order to not stop learning, listen to an English book summary every day for free.
Rich Diviny, Masters of Uncertainty. The Navy SEAL way to turn stress into success for you and your team. Uncertainty is the one thing we can count on in life. Whether it's a high-stakes business deal, a personal crisis, or a sudden emergency, we're constantly thrown into situations that are unpredictable and beyond our control. The U.S. Navy SEALs understand this better than most. In 2011, they faced one of the most uncertain missions in modern history, capturing or killing Osama bin Laden. Despite meticulous planning and preparation, unexpected events, starting with a helicopter crash, forced them to adapt on the fly, demonstrating their unparalleled ability to manage chaos. The mission was a true test of their ability to perform under extreme pressure. Even when their best-laid plans went awry, the SEALs stayed focused and adapted quickly to the changing circumstances. Their success came from their ability to remain composed and execute, no matter how uncertain the situation became. In this blink, you'll learn how to apply the same strategies that made the SEALs successful in the face of uncertainty. You'll discover how to break big challenges into manageable steps, maintain focus under stress, and tap into your inner strength when facing chaos. By embracing uncertainty as an opportunity rather than a setback, you'll gain the tools to thrive in any situation. Small steps create big momentum. At 450 pounds, George knew a marathon was impossible until he literally started taking one step at a time. First, he put on running shoes. The next day, he walked to the mailbox, then to the end of the street. Small, manageable actions, each one reinforcing his motivation. Those small wins eventually built up, leading to his first ultra-marathon finish. His success came from structuring effort in a way that made progress inevitable. The same approach Navy SEALs use to manage uncertainty and maintain control under extreme conditions. Stress isn't your enemy, it's a survival tool. When uncertainty strikes, your body floods with energy, sharpening focus and preparing you to act. But without direction, that energy pushes you into one of two ineffective responses: blind panic or avoidance. Panic leads to reckless decisions. Avoidance lets stress build unchecked. SEALs avoid overwhelm by using moving horizons, focusing on micro goals instead of the entire mission. One step, one objective, one small win at a time. This provides clarity and control, keeping attention locked on what is known and manageable. Defining each task's duration, pathway, and outcome, DPO, builds confidence, fuels momentum, and turns stress into action. Your brain is constantly asking questions, whether you realize it or not. Left unchecked, this internal dialogue can drag you into a spiral of doubt. SEALs don't have the luxury of indulging those thoughts in high-stakes situations. Instead, they train their minds to ask, what do I know? And what can I control? By shifting focus to immediate, actionable facts, they prevent fear from hijacking decisions. The same strategy works outside of combat. Uncertainty doesn't have to create paralysis if you direct your mind toward productive questions rather than destructive ones. Success isn't just about willpower. Motivation is biochemical. It comes from setting the right goals, challenging but attainable. If a goal is too big, your brain won't produce the dopamine necessary to sustain motivation. If it's too easy, there's no sense of accomplishment. SEAL trainees enduring Hell Week don't succeed through sheer force of will. They break it down into small, winnable moments, just making it to the next evolution, the next meal, the next 10 minutes. Each small achievement triggers dopamine, reinforcing persistence. Focusing too much on the end goal leads to exhaustion and discouragement. SEALs direct their attention to what needs to happen next. The same logic applies in everyday life. Looking too far ahead makes an objective feel impossible, but focusing on the next manageable step keeps you engaged without draining mental reserves. SEAL teams build momentum by structuring missions around shared wins, reinforcing motivation. Leaders can use the same principle by breaking down team objectives into manageable steps, creating an environment where progress is consistently rewarded. Uncertainty is inevitable, but your response determines the outcome. The principles that keep SEALs steady in the most extreme conditions are the same ones that turn overwhelming obstacles into achievable steps. Steps that build to success. Stay cool, regulate stress, and perform like a Navy SEAL. As the aircraft door swings open at 30,000 feet, a Navy SEAL feels a surge of adrenaline kick in. His body is primed for action, but he knows that if stress takes over, his judgment will suffer. Instead of letting tunnel vision set in, he deliberately shifts his gaze to the horizon, engaging panoramic vision to calm his nervous system. With each measured breath, he stabilizes his heart rate using box breathing, a technique of inhaling, holding, exhaling, and pausing in equal counts. He maintains control over stress by using deliberate techniques that keep his mind clear and his actions precise. When stress is controlled, it sharpens focus and readiness, but if left unchecked, it hijacks the brain, shutting down rational thinking and triggering impulsive reactions. The key to staying cool under pressure lies in controlling autonomic arousal, and that starts with two powerful tools: vision and breath. Your eyes dictate how stressed you feel. When your focus narrows, stress levels rise. This happens instinctively in high-pressure situations, but you can counteract it by shifting to panoramic vision, relaxing your eyes and taking in the periphery. This technique, used by SEALs before high-risk jumps, re-engages the rational part of your brain, keeping emotions in check. Another visual strategy: eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. EMDR helps reduce stress by moving the eyes from side to side, a technique widely used in trauma therapy. Breathing is another powerful tool for managing stress. If you need energy, cyclic hyperventilation, deep inhales followed by forceful exhales, kicks your system into high gear. To calm down, the physiological sigh, 2 short inhales through the nose and a slow exhale through the mouth, immediately reduces anxiety. Box breathing keeps stress in check by regulating oxygen and carbon dioxide levels. The real power of these techniques lies in consistent practice. In high-stress moments, your brain defaults to habit. Training your vision and breath now ensures that when pressure mounts, you'll respond with control, not chaos. The unseen forces that drive your performance. In 2012, fishermen Jose Salvador Alvarenga and Ezequiel Cordoba were caught in a storm that left them stranded at sea. With no engine or supplies, they survived on whatever they could catch. After months adrift, Cordoba died, leaving Alvarenga alone. For 438 days, he drifted alone, facing extreme isolation and uncertainty. What kept him going? His Christian identity gave him purpose, a mental anchor that helped him endure. At last, he reached land, showing how a strong sense of identity can be a lifeline in extreme uncertainty. If you want to perform well under pressure, you need to understand the internal forces that shape your actions. 2 factors define how you respond to challenges: attributes and identity. Attributes determine how you react under stress. Identity shapes why you act the way you do. Together, they influence decision-making, adaptability, and resilience. Attributes are ingrained traits, not learned skills. They shape how you handle pressure, uncertainty, and challenges. Unlike technical abilities, which can be taught, attributes remain consistent, acting as an internal operating system. The key isn't to change them, but to identify strengths and manage weaknesses. Elite teams, such as the Navy SEALs, recognize this. When selecting candidates, they prioritize resilience, adaptability, and mental toughness over technical expertise. These attributes dictate how someone functions under extreme stress. If you want to optimize performance, observe your natural tendencies in high-pressure situations. That's where true attributes emerge. Instead of forcing yourself into roles that don't align with your nature, lean into strengths. If you stay calm in chaos, take on crisis management. If you adapt quickly, seek challenges that demand flexibility. Identity acts as an internal compass, shaping decisions when uncertainty clouds logic. People hold multiple identities: personal, professional, ideological. but only some influence choices in high-stress situations. Recognizing dominant identities allows for greater control over actions. The Navy SEALs use identity as a tool for clarity. In uncertain moments, a SEAL might ask, "As a SEAL, what is the right action?" This simple question reinforces core values and provides direction. You can apply the same approach. When facing a difficult decision, frame it through your strongest identity to keep your actions aligned with your principles. Attributes and identity shape not only individuals but entire teams. Effective teams assign roles based on natural strengths, ensuring efficiency and satisfaction. Leaders who understand their team's attribute profiles can delegate effectively. Team identity also plays a role. Units with a strong sense of purpose, like the SEALs, remain decisive and unified under pressure. By recognizing your attributes and understanding your identity, you create an advantage in uncertain environments. Instead of resisting natural tendencies, use them to your benefit, allowing you to perform at your best when it matters most. How Navy SEALs turn goals into reality. At 17, Rich Divine knew he wanted to serve and protect, but not in the conventional way. He craved a challenge that would set him apart. When he discovered the Navy SEALs, he was captivated by their extraordinary feats, parachuting from extreme altitudes, infiltrating enemy harbors, and rescuing hostages under fire. The path was brutal. He faced years of relentless training, failed physical tests, and was even told childhood asthma might hold him back. But his objective never wavered. Each obstacle became just another step forward. 7 years after setting his goal, he earned the Trident, the insignia awarded to those who successfully complete SEAL training. This is the power of setting clear objectives. To succeed in uncertainty, you need more than just a purpose. You need tangible objectives. High achievers move beyond abstract ideals, turning them into specific, actionable goals. Instead of merely wanting to be healthier, they commit to running a marathon. Instead of wanting to make the world safer, they set the goal of becoming a Navy SEAL. These objectives serve as beacons, guiding decisions and keeping you moving forward even when obstacles arise. The key is to acknowledge your objective and then release it. One effective way to stay on track is by using the DPO method we discussed earlier: duration, pathway, and outcome. This approach helps break down objectives into manageable steps, determining how long a task will take, identifying the best route to achieve it, and defining the desired result. Navy SEALs apply this mindset in high-pressure situations, ensuring they remain focused and adaptable. You must define your goal clearly, but once it's set, focus on immediate actions rather than obsessing over the long road ahead. Navy SEALs don't survive Hell Week by fixating on the entire ordeal. They focus on making it through the next challenge, the next obstacle course, the next surf torture session, the next meal. The same applies to any demanding pursuit. Break it down, set your next horizon, and keep moving. Teams thrive on clear objectives as well. Whether in special operations, business, or family life, a shared goal keeps everyone aligned. Leaders emerge as needed, decisions are made with confidence, and progress continues, even in the face of the unknown. Set your objective, keep your focus, and trust that every step forward matters. Dynamic leadership shifts ensure adaptability and trust-based performance. During Navy SEAL training, a group was ordered to break a speed record for a hill run while carrying heavy gear, an arbitrary challenge meant to test obedience rather than skill. One trainee spoke up, pointing out the unnecessary risk to his team. Instead of punishing him, the instructor called off the run. That moment stuck with his classmates for years. It wasn't an act of defiance, but rather recognizing when to lead for the right reasons. In uncertain environments, leadership can't be rigid. The most effective teams operate through dynamic subordination, a system in which leadership shifts based on expertise and the immediate situation. Unlike traditional models that rely on fixed hierarchies or leaderless equality, this approach ensures the most qualified person steps up at the right moment while others support them. To make this work, every team member needs 3 things: a clear understanding of shared goals, real-time awareness of unfolding situations, and deep knowledge of each other's strengths and weaknesses. Without these, leadership shifts can become chaotic rather than seamless. Trust is the foundation. You have to believe in your teammates' abilities, rely on their consistency, and know they'll act with integrity. That's built through action, not words. It also requires vulnerability, being willing to admit when you're not the best person for the job and letting someone else take charge. SEAL teams practice this constantly, ensuring leadership is fluid and decisions come from those closest to the problem. If you want a team that performs under pressure, forget rigid roles. Build trust, communicate openly, and practice stepping forward and stepping back. When leadership is earned in the moment rather than assigned by rank, the entire team becomes stronger. Adaptability starts with defining identity and clarifying expectations. Once, a struggling member of Divini's team kept missing the mark in a strategic role. Instead of assuming the man lacked ability, Divini reassessed his strengths and found he excelled in structured, detail-oriented tasks. By realigning his responsibilities to match his strengths, the SEAL's performance and morale improved immediately. This wasn't a reaction to failure. It was part of an ongoing process of evaluating whether each person's role reflected their natural abilities. A strong team identity requires clear, actionable expectations rather than vague values. Navy SEALs eliminate ambiguity by using I am statements to define behaviors, ensuring team members instinctively know how to act under pressure. For example, a statement like, "I commit to discipline in all areas of my life because it ensures excellence and reliability," provides a clear behavioral expectation. These statements ensure that every team member understands their role and responsibility within the group, eliminating ambiguity and strengthening cohesion. Organizations can adopt a similar approach by ensuring their values translate directly into clear behavioral expectations that members can follow in all situations. Hiring decisions should reinforce this identity. SEAL teams select candidates based on resilience, adaptability, and problem solving, recognizing that these attributes determine success under stress. While technical skills can be trained, intrinsic qualities are far harder to develop. Organizations that prioritize experience alone risk overlooking individuals whose attributes allow them to perform better under pressure and adapt in uncertainty. Even after hiring the right people, alignment isn't automatic. Leaders must continuously assess whether roles reflect strengths, ensuring expectations are not only clear, but consistently reinforced. Adaptability must be sustained. Embedding structured expectations into daily operations allows teams to respond instinctively, maintaining effectiveness in unpredictable conditions and ensuring the team thrives under pressure. In this Blink to Masters of Uncertainty by Rich Divini, you've learned that uncertainty is inevitable, but how you respond to it can determine your success. The key to performing under pressure lies in breaking down challenges into manageable steps, staying focused, and using techniques like stress regulation. By embracing uncertainty rather than avoiding it, you can turn unpredictability into an advantage. Mastering your mindset, understanding your strengths, and leveraging them in high-stress situations can help you achieve your goals, just like Navy SEALs do in the most demanding conditions.